a movie review on Wonder... Oh! Excuse me. Boys, right? Am I right, women? Oh my god, you're Wonder Woman. I'm cosplayer Quinzel. Nice to meet ya. Another cosplayer. Hi. Sorry about that. A little unscheduled interference. So, as I was saying, for the Wonder Woman movie review, I was ecstatic! Are you kidding me? I was like, what? She can do it! I was so excited to see this movie. I'm not kidding. I cosplayed for Wonder Woman Day for like 3 days. But yeah, so let me start off with the number 1 reasons why I love the movie. And yeah, I'm expecting like, you have a vagina. That's why you liked it. You want to say that again? No, but seriously though, let's start with the number 1 reason why I liked Wonder Woman so much, because of the image itself. Numero uno, sisterhood. Alright. Here's the thing. Most women don't usually get along. Shocker, fellas! I know. But here's the thing. There are women who will get along with other women who are very much like me, who are very quick to mentor. I've mentored quite a few women. Just recently I was trying to take in more women to like mentor. Some of them didn't work out, some of them did. But, however, the thing that I love the most about the movie is the fact that sisterhood was evident. It wasn't about like, oh, she thinks she cute. Like, none of that existed. It was flat out, we're being attacked by anything with testicles. Get him! I freaking loved it. I was in tears. I'm not kidding. I don't cry at movies. I cried only one other scene, and that was when Buffy had to stab Angel, the love of her life, the vampire. That was about the only time I cried. Wonder Woman, you made me cry. Like, I was just so proud of the fact that they stuck together. You saw them training together. They focused on things that actually mattered, which was improving one another. That was, you're gonna get better. Although they were fighting tough, they were training hard, they still stopped. Even after she got her butt whipped, it was just like, I'm only kicking your ass because I want you to get better. You can do this. And it was like, whoa! Like, it was just, I love that. I really adored that. And that was what the opening scene was to me in the movie. It was just more or less like, oh my god, girls, quickly, let's fight them all. Like, you know, like, it really made me excited to see that Wonder Woman wasn't just about like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna be cute, I'm gonna be the damsel in distress, because she wasn't. She took care of stuff that the homeboys couldn't do. They were like, we're in the, oh no, ducky cover, we can't do this. Mind you, they don't see her superhuman powers. And they're like, we can't do this. Bruh. She's like, I got this. And, but anyway, I'm straying from the topic. The point is that what I loved the most was the fact was the sisterhood. It was a world that I wish existed, really. I don't always normally get along with females. Usually there's always this weird awkward tension, and by me being so quiet and socially awkward, there's often a lot of assumptions about me before I even get the chance to open my mouth. But then again, I also like to be silent so I don't remove any doubt either. But that sisterhood that was in the movie, it was like, oh my god, it was like, no, we're here together. And then when they realize that the Germans are coming into their palace, into their home base, and they're like, bruh, it didn't even matter. They all knew what Diana was, but they didn't care. They were like, nah, we know she can do it, but right now we're gonna fight right next to her. They did not hesitate, and I adored that. And that's the kind of world that I wish existed. It should exist. to let Wonder Woman be that epiphany, let her be that enlightenment, let her be the one that paves the way for the rest of us, honestly, as women, to stand together. Because I can't stand it whenever I see some dude who's like, yo, ma, and the girl's like, no, I'm not interested, and he's like, yeah, but I'm talking to you. I'm that chick who won't, I don't need to know you. I'll be like, yo, bruh, no means no. You wanna, let's go right now. Like, I'm the crazy girlfriend in the background, like, yo, I see you, let's go. She said no. But yeah, I wish that's the kind of world that I really want to see really existing. I want to see women coming together and focusing on what's really important, which is supporting each other, being there for each other, and understanding. There's a lot of love and compassion. Love is not weak. But the compassion, that's where your strength lies. And I feel like we should definitely have more of that for each other, opposed to focusing on looks or this or that and things that are just really just menial tasks, you know? Come on. Come on. There are far much more important things than these incidental things. The dynamic duo. Storyline and fighting. Those two went hand in hand. Now, the fight choreography I thought was on point. I loved her facial reactions as an actress as well as a fighter, and bringing that sort of all together. You felt like you were in the battle. I don't care where you were. You were like, oh my god, what's happening? Like, you had a nerdgasm right there in the seat. Like, you didn't matter. The fights I thought were incredible. I did wish there were like a few more fight scenes, but only because I was so engulfed by the scenes that when they were happening, I was just like, oh my, oh, it's over? Oh my god. Wow. Like, you know, like, I'm serious. Like, that's exactly how I felt when I was watching the film. The storyline is not perfect, of course. It's not, you know, it's World War I instead of World War II. It makes you kind of question what's happening with World War I. Is Ares really gone? It makes you do kind of like wonder a few things. But I think they did excellent for the storyline to sort of introduce Diana as how she is, because as a writer, one of the most important things to me is to understand why the character is the way they are. When you look at yourself, do you think, oh man, because something happened to you here, that's probably why you're a certain way? There's been a lot of things that's happened to me, and that's why I'm so strong about, you know, having sisterhood, about mentoring girls, you know, whether they're younger than me, older than me, I don't care. I really believe that we should always stick together, and I'm very big on that. If you and I don't vibe very well, I'm like, that's okay. I'm still gonna help you, I'm still gonna wish the best for you, but I'm gonna mingle over here. That's just my thing, but that's because of the things that have happened to me. And because of that, that's an aspect of my personality that's never going to change. So as you're watching the movie, you're really learning why Diana is the way that she's raised. You know, she's learned to be humble. She doesn't even realize she's a god until much later. You know, the way how they introduce it in the film. They teach her that compassion. You have to be this way. You have to be the best fighter. They know she can do so much damage, but they're like, don't tell her. Tell her she's weak. Kind of. You know, and I thought that was beautiful. I also loved how when they introduced her into our world, or at least our part of the world, how she sees how men view women. Even those little quick cut reactions, you know, and he's like, no, there's a woman in here. Like, you see it in her face real quickly because she's trying to, like, what'd you just say? And she did a wonderful job of it. I also loved how she stepped in and knew when to step in, or when she had her moment of innocence, like when she's eating the ice cream, she's like, oh my god, just, you should be really proud of yourself, just, you know, which is what we all do whenever we have ice cream. But, you know, it was such a beautiful moment. You found her as this great warrior goddess who still had this level of innocence to her because she had yet to experience our world, you know, and that was just like breathtaking. Now, in regards to Ares, I won't lie, I didn't see who the guy was supposed to be. I had picked everybody else and I was like, that's Ares, that's Ares, that's Ares, she's Ares, and then homeboy popped in. I was like, oh, you got me. But I think they did excellent, especially with that fighting scene. And just for props, so when she's fighting homeboy, right at the end, right before she meets Ares, she jumps off the rooftop, right? She's talking to Trevor. She's like, hi baby, yeah, I'm real hot. See how I fought that guy? I just killed Ares. And he's like, babe, I gotta do this. And he's like running off and stuff. And she comes down off the rooftop without her sword. Without her sword. And then when she realizes who is inside the little military house, yeah, I don't know words. So when she realizes Ares is in there, I thank you guys so much for showing her jump off the rooftop and land with her sword. I'm not kidding, because the whole time I pulled myself out of the movies like, she better get a sword, she gotta get a sword, she gotta get a sword, she gotta get a sword. And thank you guys for keeping up with that consistency. Like, I was so happy. I was like, thank you. Also, like every other girl on the internet, now I'm trying to see if I can fit a sword in my dress. But anyways, but I think you guys did well for the storyline as a great introduction. I know there's a lot that you cannot add, only because it's so much. I mean, it's such an intense tale, you know, like, you know, the gods have now got to figure out what to do with Ares. They're trying to prove to Ares that Ares is wrong about mankind, and then we got to fast forward over here to World War I, and then you got to leave, you know, grab the souls of the midwives who were killed too early before their time. I mean, there's so much in there that you can't pull out of a comic book and fit into a 2.5 movie. I mean, the 2.5 hour movie was long enough as it was. I mean, not that I wouldn't have wanted to watch more, but nonetheless, you guys did a fabulous job on the storyline. You kept to it, you were consistent with it, and you learned how Wonder Woman becomes Wonder Woman. Fantastic origin, and I applaud ya. And no, I did not like it because I have a vagina. Watching y'all. Bangawa San! No, it's not Wolverine, guys. It's not. It's... never mind. Compassion. That is the message of the film. At not only just an important time of just our time, but times before and the time in the future. And I'm a very firm believer of that. If you don't get along with someone, that's okay. You can get along with them from over there. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, you don't like me? That's great. I wish you the best. Over there. I'm gonna be over here. I'm very big on that, and that's my form of compassion. If I feel like there's any animosity, any kind of form of negativity, I will just leave that person over there. I will walk away. You don't necessarily have to indulge yourself into violence. You don't have to always intentionally start problems. You don't have to intentionally try to cause someone pain. What is the point of all that? Whether you're reading, you're reading it from the Bible says, you know, thou shalt not do this and thou shalt not do that. It's just have compassion for your fellow man. That's it. It's really that simple. Don't do to someone else what you really want to be done to you. I mean, if you don't want it to be done to you, then I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing things out there. Not saying that mistakes don't happen. Things, I mean, happens. Everyone knows it. However, the whole message of the movie was love and compassion. And they didn't do it in that like, I think everyone should just have love. They didn't do like the girl card. It was like, no, with love and compassion. We can come together as people, whether you're trying to make America great again or if you're just trying to support others. It doesn't matter. Stop the violence. It's unnecessary and it's stupid. Why would you go out of your way? Like, what kind of time do you have in your day to be like, you know what I'm gonna do? This will really hurt that other person. It says a lot about you as a person. I'm just saying. Have compassion, and I think the movie it just highlights it from like second one, you know, like and I think it's really important. That was one of the most favorite parts about the film, especially even when they end it. They're still letting you know, be compassionate. We don't need this. We don't need to fight. We don't need to hate each other. We can just simply be cool with each other, whether it's together or from a distance. We can still do this. That was fantastic. Love you for that, Gal Gadot. Oh my God, you got no idea. You gotta get that dirt off your shoulder. I know like one rap song, don't laugh at me. But this is about the internet complaints. I mean, besides the one where all the men were like against, I think the movie theater was Alamo, were like, what do you mean you're doing a women-only screening? Where are your balls for every last one of you who complained? Just a question. But anyway, one of the internet complaints that I saw, which really bothered me a lot, which I'll follow up with in a second after I explain this, was it was a very like, Wonder Woman's only successful because she's white. And I'm like, first of all, her movie's getting banned in a couple of places because she's an Israeli soldier. And I respect her for that. And I think that's the reason why she made such a perfect person for that role, and they're like, well, you know, I didn't see any black people, I just saw a couple of token Amazons. And I'm like, no, well, the whole thing with the Amazons is that they're actually all over the world, and we don't have a black Amazon because we have Nubia. Nubia was not the film, what the film was about, but we were about Princess Diana. We were kind of trying to set some things up. But anyways, I saw in this one article that it really upset me because it was like, she's only successful because she's white, and I was like, she's Israeli? If you just, I think someone should open up a history book before they say that, but I was like, all right, whatever. But you know, I feel like she was successful because a lot of us we've all been waiting, you know, and we've been waiting to see a lead female role, you know, like who's powerful, who's strong, who's kicking butt, who's doing things that men are like, we can't do this, you know, like give birth. But you know, just, you know, simple things that I feel that was the best part of the movie. I didn't care. I didn't look at Wonder Woman and go, she's white, I'm not gonna watch it. Nah. You know what I mean? Come on, look at me. So after I finished reading the article, they were like, oh, there's a couple of black tokens. For some of those black tokens you were talking about, one of them was Artemis, which is Wonder Woman's biggest rival for a human. Not Artemis the god, you know, because we know how that ended. But she was named after the goddess, and probably for good reason, you know? And it's just, how could you say that? You didn't even see the Easter egg. How could you not catch that Easter egg and then turn around and make a complaint? Sorry, I'm having a moment. Having a moment. But nonetheless, like, I didn't understand these rants like, oh, well, I think this is a bad movie just because, and oh, blah, blah, blah. No. The movie was excellent. The storyline was fine. The special effects was not overdone to the point where it took me out of the film, because I hate that. I hate watching where I'm really getting into the film and then it's like a really obvious bad special effects or a really bad costume that I know I saw betterly done in New York Comic Con. No one's saying anything, but I know everyone knows what movie I'm talking about though, right? That was a Wonder Woman pose, I swear. I was really upset when I saw this rant because it was just like, how could you bash this wonderful, incredible movie? And it's paving the way. Now we can have Nubia. Now we can have Artemis, who's black again. I'm just gonna mention for the haters. It's amazing how quickly they're so quick to bash this movie. And Gal Gadot, she's walking it strong, and I applaud her for that. But how could you bash such an important movie that actually tells the image to other girls? You can do this. You can be whatever you want. You can take down men. You can take on the entire world. And we'll all help you together as one sisterhood. It still ties into the film. So quit bashing it. I'm sorry, I'm really a DC girl. I love Marvel, but I'm really a DC girl at heart. Or an age for visions. Y'all think I'm sexy, don't lie. Number 5, what I wanted to talk about was my actual Wonder Woman experience going into the movie theater. So I'm dressed up in the 40s kind of style of Wonder Woman, and I couldn't forget the amazement of these little girls who saw me. So I'm standing online and I'm trying to, you know, I'm getting my popcorn and stuff and I'm all excited, and there's a group of little girls. Now here's the thing, when you're a black cosplayer, it doesn't matter if you're black Asian, if you're black Jamaican, if you're black African, Middle Eastern, it doesn't matter. As long as you're colored in, there's often a lot of negative responses to you, or a mediocre response like, oh look, it's a black Poison Ivy. It's a black Supergirl. Like, you know, you're kind of like, oh, that's the color I am. I didn't know. Oh shit. Like, you know, I'm serious. Like, it really happens a little too often. And then there's other people who get upset and go, the character is not black. Why didn't you cosplay as Storm? And you're like, maybe because Halle Berry messed it up. No offense, woman. I still love you. But I'm just throwing things out there, you know. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times you're met with that sort of animosity or this uncomfortable level of like, oh look, there goes the black version of blah 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 blah, which is what I was sort of anticipating, like, oh look, it's the black Wonder Woman, you know. And I wasn't expecting people to like go, oh look, are you supposed to be Nubia? I wasn't expecting anything like that. However, what instead happened is that I saw these group of little girls, like 5 or 6 of them, and that particular group was all black, and they didn't even hesitate. They were like, Mom, it's Wonder Woman! Like, they were so amazed, they were just excited, and they wouldn't stop smiling at me, and I was just more or less kind of like, I couldn't help myself because I'm a dork, and I'm like, you be good girls now. You know, like, I couldn't help it. And then later on, I saw a group of Asian girls, particularly Southeast Asian girls, who were like, I want pictures with the Wonder Woman. And I was like, oh my god, we can be chinky Wonder Women together. And for me, that, it swelled up a lot of emotion inside, because I was just more or less taken back by like, oh, so I'm not the black version of this. Those little girls looked at me and go, they had a look of inspiration on their faces. And for me, it really just, oh my god. Like, I'm inspiring them just by dressing up. And that's the powerful image behind Wonder Woman. That is the image that she represents for us as females. She's not white. She's supposed to be a Greek goddess. She's Greek. The actress Israeli, yes, that's fine. But the powerful image behind Wonder Woman is, it was set in stone the minute I walked into that theater. All those little girls, even when I went there, when I went to Royal Collectibles and I was dressed up in the character, they didn't stop. They looked at me and go, that's Wonder Woman. That's what I want to be. I want to be strong. I want to be this. I saw that all in their faces. So how could you put down a movie that inspires little girls like that and all they did is see me cosplay? I mean, I had tears in my eyes. I was sorry, I'm getting teary-eyed again. But to have that ability to inspire little girls like that just because I cosplayed, that's a powerful icon. And I think Wonder Woman right now, she pretty much just paved the way. 6. Y'all like that. But the last thing that I wanted to say is I want to thank Patty Jenkins for directing such an incredible, beautiful film, and I want to say thank you because they thought you couldn't do it. So, and we know why. So, but I want to thank Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, all the Olympians and the athletes who starred as the Amazon, showing what women really are capable of, just in case if there was a chick out there who thought that she couldn't do it. And you know, if you had testicles and you participate in the film, I appreciate you too. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But no, I really do appreciate this film, and looking at the buzz, looking at the looks on those little girls' faces, that made my evening, my weekend, that brought tears to my eyes. Watching the film, that brought tears to my eyes. And let me remind you again, I only cried the last time when Buffy stabbed Angel. I'm just saying, like, I was heartbroken. This movie, I cried because of the impact it has, and I saw the domino effect, the rippling effect that it was going to have on generations to come. And I want to thank you guys so much, because what I'm looking at is my future as dynamically a part of AHR Visions. As Kali? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a crossover. You up for the challenge, gal? So y'all like that little intro, right? And I was all like, yeah, I know there were no kicks in there, that's not the point. Be sure to let me know if you like this, if you agreed with me, whether you agreed or disagree. Either way, you're gonna have to let me know whether you like it, you dislike it. Give me a comment. Subscribe if you haven't noticed. Yeah, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Either that or I'm about to send Wonder Woman after your butt. Or maybe Kali.